everybody, it's Tom from PC Gamer here at PAX West with Pete Hines of Bethesda. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Very good, and we're here to talk about Elder Scrolls Legends. You guys have been in open beta for about a month and a half or so now. How's the reception been, and how's it going?
So far, so good. I mean, we're really pleased with the reaction, people playing the game, kind of appreciating how it's different, what it's trying to do. A lot of that is due to all the folks that helped us in closed beta, figuring out where we needed to shift some cards around and find some good game balance. And we're continuing to tweak things and add features, but I think we're pretty happy with where we are and where we're headed.
Where do you see Elder Scrolls Legends fitting into the kind of digital card game market right now? Because there's a lot of games filling that market up.
Sure. I mean, we started this project a number of years ago, and we sort of looked at the spectrum of strategy card games from really complicated to fairly simple and straightforward, and wanted to carve out a spot, somewhere kind of in the middle where it was accessible and easy enough to understand mechanically, but at the same time offered some strategic depth. And I think we've tried to do that in a number of different ways. The way that you build your deck, combining colors, the two-lane system, taking advantage of runes and prophecy cards. I think all of those things really add to the depth and complexity where they're not barriers. They're pretty easy concepts to pick up, but once you start to appreciate how to take advantage of them, you really start to unlock a lot of possibilities.
And looking forward, obviously you guys are still in open beta, so the game's not 100% finished yet, but what's your kind of post-launch idea for this? Are you guys planning expansions or anything like that?
So many ideas. Honestly, we never view this as like, oh, well, when we get this point, we're done. We could call it launched right now if we wanted to. It's really this constant evolution and process of adjusting the card file, making sure all the corners are tucked in. But yeah, we have plans, and we're already working on new cards and expansions. We also have plans to release cards in much smaller doses. We just released one as a reward card for last month that players can now get in the game. And we're going to be doing that month over month in addition to some other ways that we want to add new cards. So we want to really embrace what a digital card game can do, which is it can change on the fly, it can adjust, if there's a card that's throwing a metagame off, it can add new cards into the mix to sort of push players towards trying, new varieties of decks. We want to continue to do more of all of those things.
And more specifically, what about more of the single-player content, the PvE stuff? Are you guys planning more of that? Because Legends has a very cool, almost like tutorial campaign where you have to make RPG-like choices that influence how your decks evolve.
Yeah, it was a thing that we wanted to do that we felt very Elder Scrolls, having some choice, playing through and making different choices with reward cards or choices you make during the campaign, unlocking a different card for you. We've talked a lot about various things that we want to do in the single player area, whether it's more story stuff or whatever. Don't think we're ready to talk about that just yet in terms of what and when, but it's on that very long list of features that we want to do. It's something that we've sort of been monitoring the feedback and what folks like about it and what they want to see more of or what they want to see different, and we'll take that into account and add it to our plans for down the road.
Well, and then on the other end of the spectrum, what about from a competitive standpoint? Have you guys been excited or disappointed about how the game is shaping up as maybe an esport?
Well, I mean, for us, our focus has always been how do we make a really fun game to play that's also a fun game to watch. If it does those two things and does them well, the esports stuff will naturally follow. Being 6 weeks into basically anybody being able to get into the game, I think it's a little early to say oh, we have a perfect esport title. People are still trying the game out. We have people who've been coming here all weekend oh, I didn't even know this was a thing, and how do I play this? So we have plans. We're obviously doing stuff here at PAX where we've got competitions on the floor every day for fans who have been playing, coming in, and trying out different decks. But we've got a lot of plans going forward, but again, it all comes out of how good the game is and making sure that it's a really fun, engaging game to both play and watch, and the rest of it, I think, will come.
Cool. And you said it could be called launch, but when do you think Legends will actually get that 1.0 label?
Probably when we get to releasing the tablets. I think we sort of drew that line in the sand that the point at which we're ready to release it for tablets, we'll pull the beta label off of PC and it'll be 1.0, and we're getting really close. We have a few final things that we want to tweak and adjust, just some things to make the game a little easier. I really hate the fact that we have two menu screens right now that you have to jump between, so we're going to consolidate that into a single screen. like doesn't make the game any more competitive or fun, but it's just so much easier to use. So like things like that are really important to us to make it a really fun and easy game to get into and engage with. But yeah, we're really close. I would say we're getting into the fall here. It won't be much longer this fall before you see it out on tablets, iPad and Android tablet, and also released on PC.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for talking with me.
Absolutely. Thanks. Have a good PAX.
And stay tuned at PCGamer.com for more from PAX West.